welcome back to GeoVerra Stories. Today I'm here with Carol Buckingham.
Hi, I'm Carol Buckingham and I'm a survey assistant here at GeoVerra. I'm currently working as a temporary crew chief. I started here in April of 2023, so I've been here just a little over a year. So I was born and raised in a small town just north of Kingston, Ontario until I was about 7 years old. Then my dad got a job in the States, so we moved to Columbia, South Carolina. We lived there for 6 years. Then we moved back to Canada, so a hop, skip, and a jump away from Kingston. We were in Brockville, Ontario until I went off to school. For GeoVerra, I was working in cultural resource management, or more commonly archaeology, during the field season, which runs about May through November, as long as the dirt's good enough to dig. And then I was working as management at a retail clothing store in the off season. Yeah, so I actually did a few GPS and GIS courses in my undergrad, as well as learned how to use a total station and a GPS receiver while working as a field tech archaeologist. So I had initially only thought of it as supplementary to what I was doing rather than its own thing. I really dug in more learning about careers in surveying and geomatics in my more recent schooling. And surveying, geomatics, GIS, it's in everything. For every task, there's probably a tool or a procedure to use in our field to get it done. All it takes is the imagination to apply it. I started in an accounting program in university that I loved math, but I hadn't quite figured out how to do math outside, so I was like, I'll try this. And then after my first year, I switched programs and completed a bachelor's in classical studies, focusing on art and archaeology at Brock University in 2018. Then after I'd worked as an archaeological field tech for a few years, I went to Fleming College and completed the GIS cartographic specialist postgraduate diploma in 2022. So while I was doing that program, I got exposed to surveying more directly, that we actually had a week in between semesters where we did a virtual survey camp of sorts, learned how to use a total station, did some loop closures. Last summer when I started, I was more obviously like just starting out as a survey assistant, right? I didn't have a lot of experience with surveying directly, so I learned about leveling alongside of a highway. I got bounced around and did pipeline integrity, legal barring, started on laser scanning, railway track installation, drone flights, topographic survey, and then I actually recently got to use the high drone for some bathymetry, and that was really cool. So it's been more about exposure to the various branches of survey and just learning all the different things that we can do. But the last couple of months, I've been working as a temp crew chief and like learning more about crew chiefing so that hopefully I can learn as much as I can before I move to crew chief. The coolest moment and like the coolest tool that I've used so far is the high drone. That I was working a project where we were using it to scan the bottoms of filtration ponds at a landfill, and using it, honestly, it felt just like playing a video game. So all those years playing Xbox gave me some real world experience, and that was just really cool. Advice that I have is to start. And if you don't know where to start, ask. That I have asked so many questions since I started this job, whether I might think they're silly questions or they're really well thought out ones, and I would not have gotten where I am without them. That a question is the difference between just doing what you're told and being able to do the work on your own and really understand it. If I could go back and talk to my past self, I wouldn't change anything. That it actually reminds me of a Fall Out Boy lyric. I know that I've made mistakes, but at least they were mine to make. So I'd go back and tell them that no matter what choices they make or mistakes they might feel have happened, they're loved and they're good to go. Make mistakes, have fun, figure out what works and what doesn't, and go from there.
Thank you so much, Carol, for joining us today on GeoVerra Stories, and stay tuned for the next one.